District Attorney Rourke, we'll start with you. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, members of the committee. My name is Michael Rourke. I'm the elected district attorney in the 19th Judicial District, a native of this great state, and a very proud husband of a survivor of a brutal stranger sexual assault. In these capacities, I come before you to testify in strong opposition to Senate Bill 118. Something's missing in this conversation. We spent a lot of time talking about data and risk. Something's missing, and it's a discussion about the victims. So what I want to share with you is my 27 years experience sitting across a table from a victim who has just been violated in the most atrocious of ways. Little boys, little girls, college students, older Coloradoans. They come into our office as shells of the people that they were prior to their assault. They've been brutalized in ways most citizens cannot fathom. They've had objects forced inside their bodies, screwdrivers, other tools, other implements. They've been penetrated vaginally, anally, orally. They've been victimized by strangers, by spouses, by acquaintances, and even by fathers and uncles. During those meetings, law enforcement and the prosecutors in my offices commit to be the voices for those voices for those victims, because those offenders took those voices away. We're often asked why. Why me? And how do I know this offender is not coming back? Their worlds have been shattered, and they're looking for some reassurance for their own future safety and the safety of others in the community. Make no mistake about it, these victims have been sentenced to a life sentence of trauma, treatment, night terrors, seizures, and intrusive thoughts. Since 1998, the great state of Colorado has given us the tools to address these offenders. We've been able to explain to these victims that if the offender is found guilty at trial, this state takes these offenses very seriously, that there will be a strong and significant consequence commensurate with the severity of the offense. And thanks to other legislative efforts, we can also explain to those victims that offenders will not be released back into the community until they have successfully progressed in treatment. That has at least afforded many of those victims at least a small sense of relief. I'm very proud of the efforts we've undertaken for victims. I'm proud of my home state that has recognized for 26 years the impact of these crimes on victims and families, and have made the consequences fit the crime. And I'm proud of the incredible work that victims undertake to transform into survivors. And then I read this, Senate Bill 24-118, and I was sickened. This bill authorizes the release back into your community and to my community those who have been arrested, tried, convicted, and sentenced by a judge to prison without any treatment whatsoever. Of course, unless they manage to be scored a high risk on some psychological assessment. Do you know what offenders are a high risk to their victims? Every single one of them, when they commit these atrocities that bring those victims into my office. What is the message of this bill? The message of this bill to all victim service providers and to victims is you don't matter, because we're going to let them release back into the community anyway. I've spent the entire career being the voice for these victims, and I will continue to do so. What will your voice say? Thank you.